how I had a 10-pound, 10-ounce baby boy with no tearing. Sit with me for just a minute, and I'm going to tell you how I've had 8 babies with no tearing, including that 10-pound, 10-ounce baby boy. Now, I would love to offer you my tearing cheat sheet just for watching today. Drop me a comment and let me know that you're interested in that, and while you're at it, definitely subscribe for more practical tips to help you have a beautiful natural birth. If you don't know me, my name is Kristen, and I am a pregnancy coach. I work with mamas all over the world, helping them to prepare for a beautiful birth while they're having a healthy pregnancy and enjoying it. I've had my own 8 babies at home naturally, and I'm here each week sharing tips with you on how you can have that beautiful birth for your baby. Like I said, today I want to talk to you about how I've had 8 babies with no tearing, including that almost 11-pound bundle of joy. If you watched my last video, I talked about handling the ring of fire, and there's definitely some overlap there because, of course, it involves the same region of your body. The ring of fire happens because that area of your body, which obstetricians and midwives call the perineum, that's the anatomical term for it, and it's the tissues that are surrounding the opening of the birth canal or the vagina. And that area and that skin is what stretches as the baby is being born. And it's that stretching that causes the burning or stinging sensation that we know is the ring of fire. And that's also the area that can tear when you're giving birth, usually towards the back. Now, one thing to remember is it's much less likely to tear in a natural birth where the doctor isn't giving an episiotomy. If you think about a piece of fabric, if the fabric is whole, you have to really work at it to tear it. But if the fabric has a small snip in it, it's much easier to tear. So keep that in mind when you think about episiotomies, which are literally a cut or a snip that a doctor does on the perineum. And doctors used to think they needed to do this. In fact, they probably did used to need to do this when they were drugging women into oblivion in the 30s, 40s, and 50s and hauling their babies out with forceps. But a healthy, strong, powerful birthing woman does not need a snip to get her baby out and over the perineum. Your tissues are made to stretch, which is another thing to remember. Now, you can enhance that stretch by what you do with diet, and that is an important part of what I did. I was really blessed to have great guidance with my very first pregnancy as a teen mom. I had a mentor who talked to me about pregnancy diet and how important that was, and her pregnancy diet advice and what I learned moving forward from that is what I used with each and every one of my babies, including that big old baby boy. And I really believe that that helped my tissues to be strong, healthy, and supple so that they stretched well. Another really big thing was a lot of conditioning. I touched on this in the last video as well. Mental conditioning is so important. Not just the conditioning to know that you're ready for this birth and that you can do it, but specific conditioning where you train your pelvic floor to soften and relax. A lot of us think about Kegels, it doesn't matter how you want to say it, but you think about that during pregnancy because, oh, we got to tighten up so that our pelvic floor doesn't get all floppy. And that's a topic for an entirely different video. But what I want to encourage you to remember is that in order to birth a baby out, you don't want to be all uptight. You want to be soft and open, and you want those tissues to be able to soften and open. So doing conditioning, both mental conditioning, also I like word-based conditioning where you're thinking words that help cue your body to soften. In fact, the word soften is one of mine. And when I say that, my pelvic floor still relaxes to this day because I've spent so many months conditioning that across 8 pregnancies. So that's something that will really help you. And also, you can work on conditioning physically. Now, there is evidence to support perineal massage, and if you're interested in more on that, definitely drop me a line because I can get you the cheat sheet and also send you a link to an article where I talk more about this on my website. But there is some evidence to support perineal massage during pregnancy, but even just having your fingers and touching your own skin, your own areas, the birth canal, clean fingers are okay if they're yours. You don't want other people's fingers up there unless it's your husband or partner. But that can help you to start to feel tension and relaxation in those muscles and teach you to relax. You can also practice conditioning while you're in the bathroom. Anytime you're going to the bathroom, practice softening and opening that area. When you're having a bowel movement, it's hitting similar nerves. The sensation and the pressure will be greater when your baby's head is coming through there, but it's still those same nerve endings, so you can start conditioning your body. That really helped me a lot. Another thing that I believe contributed was water birth. Now, I did not have a water birth with my first 2 babies, and I still birthed them over what's called an intact perineum, in other words, with no tearing. But I do believe that a water birth helped, and I really think a water birth helped with that 10-pound, 10-ounce baby, because the water provides an equalizing pressure. So as baby's head's coming down and putting pressure against the perineum, the water is providing a little bit of equalization pressure back, and it also just helps you to push more gently, to be able to be more flexible and be in positions that permit you to open. So that's things that really helped as well. Now, I talked in the last video about how important it was to let your perineum stretch slowly by using mother-directed pushing. So I'm not going to go into that a lot right now because I've got one more tip that I want to share with you, but that is something to remember. Mother-directed pushing is super important if you want to avoid tearing. Another thing that was really helpful for me was wanting it to get heavy. So when I say that, that's a hippie word. It came from Spiritual Midwifery, which is a great book full of birth stories if you don't mind the hippie language. But I really got that that vibe that I want to get into this, I want to do this, I can do this. I definitely embraced that, especially for my later pregnancies and births, and just said, I want to go into this, I want to respect my body's wisdom, I want to work with my body and its rhythms, and this ties back into that mother-directed pushing. It was letting go of fear and embracing the transition, the transformation, where you are literally going to journey through this power that is you, because it's all your body, your power. And to this kind of, it's almost a spiritual journey in a way, where you're going and you are bringing your baby back and up into your arms and being ready to go into that and open to that and soft to that. That really helped me give birth to my babies smoothly and gently, and I believe that it can help you too. Now, like I said, I've got a cheat sheet that I put together because I know that tearing is one of the #1 fears mamas have. I would love to get you that or share other resources with you. Just let me know if you're interested in that. Leave me a comment, let me know, and I will be bringing you more tips this week to help you prepare for your baby's beautiful birth.